Pretty pleased actually. I was pretty pleased with a lot of new faces in there, which after a pre-season you're never quite sure if that gels or not. So I suppose that's the most pleasing part. I think certainly areas of our game around turnover and things were areas we'd look to really maximise, and I was really happy with that. And I suppose just a bit disappointed at the end with a number of changes that we get to a stage where 5 minutes away from the game that we can't finish that off. So there's some stuff there still around drive, discipline that has been sort of threads with us for a long time. So a lot of focus on that for this week. I think everyone should be excited about watching him. He hasn't played for 9 months either, so that's his first game because he's injured for tail end of Super Rugby. So we've been really excited about what we can see day in, day out, and combinations that we can play around with him. I think we've always lacked, I suppose, something that sort of just adds a little bit of sparkle outside of 12, and we've played a lot of people there over the years, but we've probably ended up playing phase rugby when we could have probably capitalised on opportunities that were there. So CO just gives us that little bit more of a cutting edge, and I thought Angus as well is the width that himself and JJ were able to create again is another balance of a game that we're seeking to play. No, he's desperate to play. So I think he had a pretty tough time in terms of, well, not so much him, but certainly his partner. And last week, and we're never quite sure. I think they were waiting for hospital beds, etc. So it wasn't possible for him to play. But he turned up out of the blue on Monday, ready to go. So and he's a father now. So focus on playing on tomorrow night. So great to see him back on the field, firstly, from his injury, and looking forward to see him going into this year.
Okay, so we're expecting Ross to play tomorrow and Ashton Hewitt as well?
Yeah. So again, another person who spent a long time and worked incredibly hard, to, I suppose it's almost 18 months because he's getting close towards the end of last year, but never quite made it. So it's a long time to be off the field. So he's been itching to get back in. Sometimes he sets himself incredibly high standards, and I want him to enjoy tomorrow because he's missed the pitch for a long time. I think we've got about 25 players that we've got an eye on for Edinburgh, and I want to play as many and give as many of those a chance. I think there's definitely some shuffling of combinations both last week and this week will happen again, with a view to being closer to what that 15 will be, sort of probably to the end of tomorrow. Is we sort of spoke to the whole group about not using this pre-season as a chance for everybody, but putting us in a better shape to get some momentum into the year. So certainly post tomorrow, I think we'll be clearer about what that 15 looks like, and it's up for people to take their opportunities when they present themselves. I don't see any reason why not. I don't see him playing in the pre-season games given his load. And I certainly think the others, Tane and Ben, will look to be getting back in, and those like Ross and Wayno will be appearing in the next few weeks as well. Ollie Griff has got a pull in his back, which we're just getting more, and Rob Evans got a bang on the cheek. So just, I say, normal bumps and bruises from first week round. Yeah, I was surprised how drive-oriented Bristol were, to be honest. I think they're less drive than I think they've got a huge amount of strike threat. There's certainly the width that they play the game is certainly a challenge to us. And I think they're probably a week on a bit further than we are because they go into the Premiership the week after. So what I want to see is another 60 minutes from that group. There are really selections up for Edinburgh. So if we're getting really good 60 minutes, then I want to see us manage the changes better. We didn't look as effective in the last 20 of the game against Bristol, and I'd want us to be able to continue effectiveness into the tail end of the game. I mean, most pre-season games is a combination of getting people playing and keeping your fingers crossed they don't get injured. So I think we'll try and balance that across the games. I think we got what we wanted from last week. Lots to be really positive about, and let's hope we can get the same again this week.